going on, y'all? This part one of me getting stabbed and almost dying, man. I almost checked. I got two stories. One story I died, and the other one I almost checked. The first one I'm gonna do is when I got stabbed. So I was cool with this nigga named Richie Martinez, right? That nigga, I think he locked up right now for shooting. I think he shot a cop or some shit like that. I don't know. But anyway, so I used to go to New York a lot on the weekends and shit. Like every weekend I used to go and be out there in New York and shit. And motherfucking, this was one of the weekends, and this nigga knew that I did that. He knew I would go out there and shit. So this nigga comes over to the crib while I'm not there and tells my grand, like, he come knock on the door, ask my grandma, like, yo, Black here. Well, they used to call me Black back then. Like, yo, Black home. She like, nah, he ain't here this weekend and shit. So he like, all right. I came by to get my bike. I had this big ass, nice ass beach cruiser, man. That shit was like a car for real. So I went through a lot to get that bike, man. Like me and my nigga Boofy and shit, which Boofy tied into the story anyway. So me and Boofy went to go see some chicks out there in Egg Harbor Township. I think it was Star and Tracy and them back there in Birdland and shit. We took my mom's car one night, went out there, boom, kicked it with them and shit. And as I'm leaving, I remember seeing this beach cruiser sitting on the porch back there. So I'm like, yo, let's swing over there and see if this cruiser over there, go over there and see it sitting on the porch still. So I'm like, look, we gonna go down there, turn back around, you gonna get in the driver's seat. I'm gonna open the trunk and you just ride slow up the street. So I get the bike, boom, in case somebody come outside, I'm already down the street, throw the bike in the trunk, we out, like back to Egg Harbor City. That's where I was staying at the time, Egg Harbor City on Buffalo Avenue, back there by Harbor Fields in the elementary school. And they had a middle school, Rittenberg, but they tore that down, made some apartments now and shit. But I stayed right there, 501, I think it was, 501 Buffalo Avenue. Anyway, all right, cool, boom. Get the bike, take it back to the city. Motherfucking, so I'm riding around for maybe 2, I ain't had that bike long at all, bro. I might have had it for like a week or two and some shit like that before this nigga come over there and get it. Boom. So when she tell me, I'm like, what? At the time, he my mans and shit. Like, we cool. Like, you feel me? So it's weird that he would do that, like, in that way. Like, you could have just borrowed the bike, my nigga. You feel me? He did some grimy, so I start, my antennas go up. I'm like, hold up, man. What the fuck this nigga on, right? So I go to his crib, right? As soon as she said that, boom, shoot to his crib. I got my favorite shirt on. So I was out there in New York trying, so I had my favorite shirt on. It was this white tee with Jordan on it. And he had that picture he got, like, when he like this, and he got all 6 rings on his hand and shit, and he like that. My shirt was a white tee with that picture on there. It was just his head and his hand and shit. And that was my favorite shirt at that time, bruh. And motherfucking, I had some, almost what I got on now, like black sweatpants. With the motherfucking Fazos, you hear me? So, boom. Had the Fazos on and shit. So I go over there to his crib and I see the mountain bike that he ride around. I see that sitting there in the yard. Watch out, Layla. Hold on, baby. So, knock on the door, his mom say he ain't there. I'm thinking he was, so this is when I'm thinking it's even more bull. So now I'm gonna beat his ass when I see him, bro, because you playing with me and shit. I didn't want to disrespect his moms and shit. So I'm thinking she lying to me that he ain't there when he is. So I'm like, all right, well, where would he be at right now and shit? So, I know he spent a lot of time in the village over there, the Egg Harbor City Village down there by Harbor Fields and shit. Shoot down there. Boom. I see Boofy and shit. I'm like, yo, where Richie at and shit? So he started laughing like, oh man, I don't know if you heard or not, but this nigga done went and sold your bike for 3 bags of bud. Like, what? This nigga sold my motherfucking beach cruiser for 3 dimes of Reggie, my nigga. At the time, Reggie was cracking. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. Like, that's what we had at that time. Niggas was smoking wild Reggie and shit. So he go and sell it to. I'm like, who he sell it to? He was like, J Lex shit. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with Lex. You feel me? So I'm like, damn, bruh. So I ain't know how I really handle that situation, like trying to go get my bike back. But I know like he bought it though. You feel me? So I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to chalk that up, bruh. But you know what I mean? I don't want blood though. You feel me? So I see Boofy, like, on the road that Harbor Fields is on and shit. So we start walking down there together. I'm looking for this nigga right now and shit. He was like, man, I don't know. I was out here all day. I ain't see the nigga and shit. So I'm like, man, fuck that, yo. At some point, he gonna come out here. So I'm about to sit. I already know where he be at and shit. You type shit. So I'm like, man. So we go walk down that way and shit. And then, so anybody that knows, I forget the name of the streets back there, but it's like a box, set up like a box almost and shit. So it's apartments, the front apartments going this way, and then the side apartments going that way on the street that we on right now. But then in between them apartments is like a shed, and then it's like a little breezeway that you could walk through and get to the courtyard, where it's just like wild grass, dirt, and it's like a little punk ass park right there. All the kids go play on and shit. So we walk over there through the breezeway and shit, and right there, like 2 porches over, we see Puto sitting there. And I'm only saying niggas' names right now because, like, it's saying they ain't involved in nothing and shit. And I ain't getting niggas caught up. But, so, we sitting there. I come up to Puto, tell nigga, I'm like, man, you seen this nigga Richie and shit? He's like, nah, I ain't seen that nigga all day and shit. I'm like, man, yo, look. I'm about to sit right out here until he cut through. So I know at some point he gonna cut through. Boom. So we roll up some trees and shit. Niggas sitting there burning and shit. The blunt go around like rotation like 2 times. So as I'm out there, I see everybody outside and shit. I see like Melissa and Ola, all of them outside and shit. And then as I'm passing it, so I'm standing like where I'm at now. Puto's here, Boofy's facing me, so his back is to the breezeway. So, but I'm facing that way, so I'm talking to him and shit, like. And as I'm passing the blunt to Puto, and I look back up, I see fat ass Richie cutting through. And I think Navasha lived right there in that corner house, right there on the breezeway and shit. I think Navasha stayed right there. So I start looking like, there you go, right then, like, so I start walking straight over there, like, he see me. He on his little ass BMX bike and shit. His big fat ass on his little ass BMX bike and shit. So this nigga goes to Navasha crib and shit, and I'm walking over there, boom. So niggas already know what time it is. Like, everybody else that's out there don't really know it yet, but I already told these niggas, like, nigga, I'm popping on this nigga as soon as I see him. Like, he already know what time it is, right? You sold my bike, my nigga. Fuck that. Like, so I go over there, his bike laying out front and shit. And I'm standing there like, just waiting. I wear glasses at this time and shit. Like, I ain't get the chemical burn in my eye yet. You know what I mean? From the contacts and shit. So, but I'm wearing my glasses at the time. This is before the contacts came into the play. So boom, he come outside. So I'm like, yo, I need that, bro. You already know what time it is and shit. So he come up with this little ass You know what I mean? Like, he come outside like this ain't nothing. Like, he about to beat my ass or something, nigga. Like, fuck. Hold on, this shit about to run out.